All right, well, welcome everyone to the second night of our Crossing the Threshold weekend. Fantastic. It is so great to see so many people here and joining us from around the world. And I mean, I'm just so excited that so many people are really benefiting from the information that Bashar is sharing with us, and at the same time having a lot of fun, because that's really what their message is all about. Live your best life, have a lot of fun, lighten up. You'll be enlightened when you lighten up. And you know, there's wonders in store for us, and we're just the first taste of this galactic reality that is just over the hill, right? I mean, it's just coming very quickly, because if Bashar's ship is at 1,000 feet, mile. Yeah, sometimes he does seem really close. But yeah, no, he's at 1,000 miles now. So, you know, he's really close. And I know that Daryl is bringing through more of the frequency. So it's really neat that so many people are able to ride this wave together. And that's what this whole room is like, is one big spaceship. Planet Earth spaceship moving forward into a third reality where we will be able to encounter beings in other dimensions and from other planets. So that's a really exciting thing. Tonight's session is entitled Through the Looking Glass Again. And I know when he said that title, what came to me was some of the things about Wonderland. One of those things is that when Alice was in Wonderland, remember, one of the things that happened was everything was backwards. And like nothing was what you expected. And through what Bashar has been sharing with us, we're starting to understand that so many things that we thought was A plus B equals C is something completely different. It's a different equation. And once you start using those equations in your own life and working with the mechanism of reality creation, you find that there are amazing magical things that can happen. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson of Wonderland, is that it's a magical place. And that's where we are, in a magical, magical world that's just going to get more and more exciting. So thank you all so much for being here and for joining us. This looks very official, doesn't it? We're trying to keep you all comfortable. So there's just a few administrative things. I wanted to mention that, you know, to get your parking validated at either the office or at the, well, when I say the restaurant or the front desk. And also to remind everyone to please turn off your cell phones. And of course, no recording. We will have CDs and DVDs and downloadables of this event available probably in about a month and a half. But the downloadables will be up faster. And also, we do actually have CDs of the last event in November. So if you're interested in those, you can check at the CD table, where we have lots of things. And we really discount them a lot for these events to give you all the benefit of being here and being able to access more material that way. Let me see if there's anything else I'm forgetting. Wow, I remembered everything. But see, I didn't really remember, right? Because there's no such thing as memory. I just accessed it when I needed it. Yeah, all right. So tonight, since most of you are familiar with the contact crystal, we're not going to show the contact crystal video, but we are going to show the dolphin one again, because we love the music and we love the way the dolphins look, and it puts everyone in such a great state. And I also just wanted to mention about the trips, the dolphin trips that are coming up. The February one is Valentine's week, and that one will be in Hawaii, in Kona, swimming with the dolphins. Every morning we get up and we go by the ocean and we do a guided meditation that Bashar has created, and it's pre-recorded. And you can't tell the difference, I'm telling you, when you're sitting there by the ocean, and they're long, they're like 20 minutes long, and he will take you on an adventure that will open your consciousness up. And it's truly a hero's journey by the time you get through the week, because he takes us to so many magical places, and then we swim with the dolphins for 3 hours, and they're imbuing us with their frequency of joy and excitement, and before you know it, you're a completely different person. And you've been on vacation the whole time. So that's what the dolphin workshop is like. And then for the first time, I'm taking a group to the Dominican Republic. That's 70 miles out to sea in a place called the Silver Bank. It's a whale sanctuary, and every year the humpback whales on the Atlantic side swim down the coast and come to the Silver Bank to mate, to have their babies, and to socialize. And so we spend every day out on the boats at least 6 or 7 hours, and a good portion of that is often in the water with the whales. And some of the things that you'll see are things like the babies are with their mothers, and you'll be just immersed in this maternal love like nothing you've ever experienced. And the babies like to come over and look at us and interact with us. So that's like so exciting. And sometimes we see singers, the ones that sit upside down in the water and sing and put energy into the earth. Sometimes we see dancers, which is like 2 whales. You're underwater and you see 2 whales dancing together in courtship. Absolutely gorgeous. So, and Bashar has created a series of guided meditations for us to do every day in conjunction with being with the whales. And so this will be the first one. And we actually have the first group, and we're looking to see if we get another group, then we'll stay an extra week. So let me know if you're interested. It's in March 10th to the 16th. And then this summer, in continuation with this idea of connecting with other species, connecting with our planet, Bashar has created a series of guided meditations for us to be in Mount Shasta, which will be amazing. And then we're going to go to the Redwoods and connect with those powerful ancient trees and their ancient knowledge. So if any of this is of interest to you, let me know, and I'll be happy, me and Victoria will be happy to get back to you and talk to you more about it. So, to set the stage, let's go see our dolphins. Oh, and by the way, the whales, or the dolphins that you're going to see in this video, the really big black ones, those are those false killer whales that came when 100 false killer whales came and surrounded our boat and bow rode with us. And they literally would turn on their sides and make eye contact with you. So.
abyss. You will discover nothing but more and more and more of yourself.
Come into harmony, in resonance with one another, and into harmony and resonance with the consciousness of your brothers and sisters in the sea, with whom you are now one. Just melt into the energy of the deep blue sea.
It was just reminding me too about with the dolphins that the dolphins are really actively participating in this cetacean nation idea that we're creating. And Bashar has said that some unusual cetaceans are going to show up this year. Yeah, he said something like that. Did you know that? I'm always the last. Oh, but you get it directly, right? So we really want to know, what are you two doing when he's channeling? So I'd like to ask you to please welcome the wonderful Daryl Anka. Crystals are compliments of Kirby's seed, as will be the holotope at the end of the evening tonight. So hello, Kirby, who's watching us on Ustream tonight. So, okay, well, I know this is the part you're really excited about. So without further ado, just would like to thank Daryl and Bashar for taking us through the Luftganglas into the magical world where nothing is as one expects it to be. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Hi. Thank you all very much for being here tonight. I'm just going to go right into it, so have fun, and I'll see you later. will say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right. We thank you, and we welcome you to the other side of the doorway. We have crossed the threshold. Now, we understand that many people on your planet thought that on the other side of the door, all heck would break loose, or all heaven. But the idea, as we have described it many times, is that this is the tipping of the scale, and that now you are on the other side of the threshold crossing. You're on the other side of the looking glass. It may not necessarily appear to be that different right away, but now you have an opportunity to recognize that on this side of the threshold, on this side of the looking glass, after tipping the scales, the collective energy of your planet has gone from slightly more negative to slightly more positive on average. As we have said, again, this idea now gives you the opportunity to begin to truly accelerate your energy in the positive direction, allowing it to snowball, as you say, to build and build and build and build, and thus then allow you to experience at whatever pace you're truly comfortable with the ideas of the realities that are more in alignment with what you prefer and who you prefer to be. So it may seem to start slowly, may seem to start small, but you have truly crossed the threshold, truly gone through the looking glass. The energy is much different now, and this is your opportunity to truly grab hold or a line of that energy and ride the crest of the wave as it accelerates now through your year of 2013, your year of transformation, and becomes faster and faster and faster and faster. Again, of course, there is no such thing really as acceleration, but what you are experiencing is the idea of the infinite speed of creation, that which stands perfectly still while moving at infinite speed, and thus the idea of the experience you have of acceleration is simply you becoming more aware, more and more and more in tune with the infinite speed that already exists. So you're not really accelerating, you're just becoming more aware of how fast you're already going. Just as we have said with manifestation, you never really attract anything from somewhere else. You are simply becoming more aware of what is already here. You're allowing it to become more visible to you. And so the idea of your acceleration as it proceeds from this point forward, as you say, will be the whole process of your willingness, to whatever degree that occurs, your willingness to allow the infinite speed you are already existing at to become more and more tangible, more visceral, more perceivable by you, by allowing yourself to truly let go and let in the vibration that is mostly truly you. The idea, however, is that we understand that each and every one of you will go through your own process and will experience the idea of the beginning of this acceleration on the other side of the looking glass in a variety of ways. And some of those ways may still be connected to the ideas of what you experienced on the other side. And thus then, as you go through these processes of letting go of belief systems that no longer work for you, you may yet still create for yourselves certain experiences that seem to be similar to what you experienced before. But understand there are different reasons now for why you may be experiencing those things, as we will explain. Now that we are on the other side, now that you have gone through the shift that we co-created together last night of your time, and are now beginning to sense your way through this new reality, taking tentative steps, a step at a time, going faster and faster at whatever pace you are comfortable with, you may begin to sense certain things. Some of you may feel a little disoriented. Some of you may feel a little wistful. Some of you may feel a little melancholy. Some of you may feel even a little sad. The idea is to understand that what's going on is that you are letting go of an old idea of yourself. The old you, in a sense, has passed away. And you are, in some senses, in mourning. The idea will be experienced in a variety of ways by many of you. But you will get used to the concept and let go of that idea, disconnect from those lines of communication, from that old idea of yourself, and connect more fully to the concept of the self you are becoming aware of, the true you. You will stop eventually looking backward and you will look forward. And thus then, the more you allow yourself to look forward, the more you will connect to that reality, to that you, the less you will experience the vestiges, as it were, of whatever belief systems you are holding on to that may create this disorientation or wistfulness or melancholy or sadness. You will again experience it in a variety of ways, and that's all right. Let it be. Let it be all right. Feel it. But just know what it is you are feeling so that you can utilize it and apply your toolkit of excitement to it, and always feel, even in the process of dealing with these remnant ideas, always know that you have the capability of making a choice that is more in alignment, of having a definition, applying a definition that is more in alignment to who you know you truly are, who you know you prefer to be. This process, in a sense, paradoxically speaking, is really all about understanding, truly taking in and understanding that you are letting go in such a manner that the person who used to be you will be experienced from a new point of view, and thus you will know that even though that person used to be you, you have never been them. That's the paradox. Because you are inventing yourself anew, and as we have said, when you truly know you are a new person, you have a different history, because the past is created from the present, not the other way around. So when you truly understand the idea of that other person, that they really are another person, that you are not that person and never have been that person. It's not about not being that you anymore. You never have been. So it's all about recognizing that that person believes in that sense, looks at you in that sense as the future self, and you, as the future self, have never been them, because you are a new you in a new reality, literally, a new person, literally, with a new history, a new definition of your being. When you truly grasp this idea and make it your own, you will feel a sense of expansion and freedom and ecstasy that will be almost uncontainable. Again, in this process that you may create for yourself, if you find yourself feeling whatever emotions you may feel, understand they are all for the purpose of letting go, for the purpose of washing out those ideas, those chemical constituents, those cellular structures within the body that were representative of an old idea. But again, as you realize that that old idea has nothing to do with the you are now, you will shift. You will feel the shift. You're always shifting, but you'll feel the shift. And again, this will be one of the strong symptoms on this side of the looking glass, is that more and more you will feel the shifts within your being, within the reflected world around you. You will experience signs and symbols of the shifts tangibly in many cases. Synchronicity will increase in a certain way that you become more aware of it, to the point where it will seem almost, in your terms, magical. And you'll begin to realize, as we have said many times, that miracles are the natural order of things. And as you realize that the new you no longer has a definition of resistance to that natural self, as you embrace that natural you, the true you, the you were created as, again, you will experience all the things that are germane to the reality that you prefer to be. We have discussed that you are shifting through parallel realities all the time, billions of times per second. So it's not about having to learn to shift. You've got that one down. That's just automatic. It's just what's built into you. You're shifting all the time. It's paying attention to the shifts, allowing yourself to be more intentionally aware of the shifts so that you can more consciously and intentionally choose the parallel realities that you prefer. The degree of difference that you create between one parallel reality and another is what will allow you to perceive more clearly that you are shifting. Because it is only a small degree of difference between them that allows you to maintain the illusion that you're barely shifting at all, when in fact you're shifting to a completely new reality billions of times per second and becoming a completely new person literally billions of times per second. So the more degree of difference you create between the realities you are shifting to, the more you will notice that you are shifting. Be free to design and define the new reality however you wish. And even though you may not necessarily immediately experience it to the degree of difference that you have created in your visualization, creating the greatest degree of difference is what will allow you to feel that you are moving more and more quickly, accelerating more and more quickly in that direction. That's how you will experience it. The greater degree of difference you create in your definition of the new reality you are shifting to, the more you will experience an acceleration toward that reality. That's how you will experience it in physical terms. And more magic will surround you, will enter your life. More opportunities will present themselves to you, and your senses will be capable of perceiving things that were heretofore invisible to you. And you will begin to truly understand that excitement is a complete kit that contains everything that you need, and that your life unfolds automatically, synchronistically, and perfectly. And everything that happens, every circumstance, and every situation, and every person with whom you interact is there for a reason. Not always necessarily the same reason between you, but a reason nonetheless. Empower yourself by assigning a positive reason for everything that happens, and you will always extract a positive effect. That is your legacy. That is your birthright. Employ it. Use it. It's always been here for you, and it will never leave. These abilities will never leave. You only choose to leave them. They never leave you. And again, you never really leave, but you create the illusion that you have. But this is on the other side of the looking glass. The old world, the old way, the old ideas, and though they be in your mind old, they have never existed within the new you that you are now. Now, we have mentioned that tonight of your time, we will be introducing to you a new being whose name is Willa Hillacrising. By the way, we have never said you had to whisper her name. You may if you wish, but it is not necessary. She is a parallel reality specialist. There may or may not be the beginnings of some discussions of some of the ideas that she could share with you this night of your time, but this will be the introduction, for she will interact with you from this point forward now and again, and especially in this year of 2013, the year of transformation, so that you may get used to each other, so that you may open a dialogue and have an exchange that bit by bit, more and more, will aid and assist you with new concepts of parallel realities, new perspectives of how to utilize and become more consciously aware of how to utilize the shifting that you do from parallel reality to parallel reality. And thus then, bit by bit, you will grow together, learn together, teach together, share together, and learn new permission slips that are her domain to give, that are her gifts to you. She will and is willing to explain to you a little bit of herself and her world, her reality. We will, in that sense, however, begin again by reminding you that as you understand linear time, she is approximately what you would recognize to be about 700 of your years in your future. Again, to her, this is nothing more than a parallel reality that simultaneously coexists with yours, nevertheless, being a parallel reality specialist, and in conjunction with the fact that we have been working with her now for some time to prepare her to understand how to communicate with you and to help us facilitate her communication with you, she understands the nature of how you see time, you experience time, and she understands the idea that for a long time you forgot that you were shifting into parallel realities all the time. So she will come with some understanding, but there may still be certain things that are foreign to her about you, even as there will be things that are foreign to you about her. But you will become used to each other over time. But we want you to understand that being a different being and being the kind of being that she is, in helping to facilitate her connection through the channel before you, her energy will access different areas of the channel's brain. And thus then it will not just be the idea of some difference in personality, which will exist, of course, as the channel's body and energy will be somewhat representative of the new being. But it will also be calling for things that are relevant to her reality in a new way. So at first, you may find a little disorientation in understanding exactly what it is that is being translated, because again, she is simply sending thoughts and we are facilitating. But we're going to allow for some of her reality to leak through in the translation so that you can get a better flavor of her world and who she is. We will not clean up the translation all the way. Thus, you will be given an opportunity to truly experience a little bit more of how she views her world and how she thinks. And this will help you stretch into other realms and other parallel realities that she will eventually introduce to you when you become more familiar with her flavor, so to speak. We will undertake her ability to communicate with you in the following way. Now, we understand that you have drawn names to ask questions, and in those names you have already drawn, those will be the questions we will address after your conversation with Willa. Nevertheless, we perceive that there will be an opportunity to ask Willa a few questions, but we will handle it in a different way. So the questional names you have already drawn will be specifically for us. The way we will handle the questions for Willa is as follows. Nania, will you please step up to the microphone?
Yes.
Are you present?
I am present.
All right. Thus then, when Willa comes through, there may be a little bit of a delay in translation, so you will expect the idea of a few pauses here and there as she gets used to the idea of communicating with you. And if
and when Willa will allow some questions. Those in the audience who feel they would like to ask a question may raise their hands. Nania, you will choose who will ask a question. They will tell you their question from where they are, and you will repeat the question into the microphone.
Okay.
All right?
So that's basically what I'm supposed to do is listen, and then if she asks for questions, have respond to anyone who raises their hand and repeat the question to Willa.
Yes.
Okay.
The questioners will not come to the microphone themselves as they will when they are speaking to us. They will simply tell you their question and you will repeat the question. Okay. All right? All right. Thus then, if you will allow us to facilitate and give us a moment, we will allow the shift to occur. I conjure you into my hearts. Do you ken me?
Yes.
We are speaking down line to you. We are upline to you. From our now to your now, concurrent. Do you ken me?
Yes.
You have been given my name, for I have a name, as you have names, for I am part of your world. 700 of your cycles hence, a part of the 6th hybrid race that your world is becoming. But I am in combination also with genetics of the stars, from Sirius, as you call it, the Nomo. Siam, Earth human, hybrid human, Nomo extraterrestrial. A triad of genetics that is not necessarily common in the 6th hybrid race. I am, as you have been storied, parallel reality specialist, upline from you 700 cycles hence. Ecstatic to grasp and match your intent, and welcome and conjuring you into our hearts. Yes, I have too. Like your brains, with the central and hemispheres, my heart mirrors with central and hemispheres. Reverberations back and forth between the two.
Do you grasp that? You have been given our naming in your language, in your speaking, the old speak. But new speak to us, Willa, Hilla Cressing. But were you to understand it in old speak, in your language, downline, you would be calling me Willow, Hilocrism. But evolution occurs with us 700 cycles hence, upline. And Willow, Hilocrism, that would have been my naming in your old speak down the line, has evolved in my reality, my now, up the line as Willa, Hilocrising. You may still grasp me if it is your wish as Willow. I will not mind. The reason you did not, in that sense, grasp at first the connection to your old speak is of the evolution in our time upline. But in your day I would have been Willow, Hilocrism. This gives you a matching intent of grasping an idea for those of the hybrids who will become the landed hybrids, closer to your time downline, closer to your now than my time. For in my time upline, in my now, the landed hybrids have lived upon the earth for hundreds of cycles. Whatever naming you may have in your grasping and your matching of intent with them now, before they are landed upon your now earth down the line, are what might be termed temporary names, temporary namings. When the hybrids land, become the landed ones on your earth, in your timing, in your new now, up your line from where you are now, down the line from them, they will take upon new namings, most of which they will grasp to be combinations of namings of natural things. So I, in that sense, in your time, in the old speak, would have been Willow and Hilocrism. And many of the hybrids will take similar namings in their time once they are landed in combination. Other namings that we will share in our grasping, in our matching, in our speaking, in our learning, up the line from your now, will be becoming familiarized to you more and more. One, we will reference many times, shall be one of the 6 hybrid race, 150 cycles down the line from me, before me, in your understanding of time, in what you call my past. 150 years, as you say, cycles down the line, we will reference this being in our future conversations, because this being has written what you call a book that is called Shards of the Fractured Mirror. shards of the fractured mirror is what you call the definitive work of parallel reality understanding, from which up the line we have drawn, and from which up the line I have made my graspings and matchings and understandings and kennings, and is my work. So I will refer to shards of the fractured mirror in our conversations up the line. That work being written as another example of the hybrid namings by Holly Cotton. So we will refer to Holly Cotton many times up the line in our conversations and kennings. Do you ken what I am saying? The Bashar who assists my kenning of you shares with me the existence of a seedling, Nania. If down the line there are those who wish to extend graspy waves, we will ken a few. Do you take my meaning?
I think so. You mean people who want to ask you questions?
Aye.
Okay. Would anyone like to ask a question? Okay, I'll start with Sherry here.
What's the best way to match the energy of a parallel reality that I like to get into?
The question is, what is the best way to match the frequency of a parallel reality that I would like to shift to?
Do you ken the vision of that reality?
Yes.
She does.
Is it in your bones?
Yes.
Have you taken scribe to it?
Scribe, you mean like writing it or acting it out?
All the spectrum. Writing, drawing, building, acting, immersion, submersion, taking it in, grasping, breathing, concocting, conjuring into your hearts. Sorry, heart. A thing not fully grasped, a thing not fully kenned, a thing not fully lived, a thing not fully breathed is not fully kenned. Are there, in your grasping, are there in your kenning, other things you could be doing to be a shard of the fractured mirror, to reflect that shard of the mirror?
Are there? Yes. Would you like to suggest something that you could do to more strongly crystallize or realize the vision that you have? She was saying, like, walking like the person that she wants to be.
Is walking sufficient for you?
That's something I'm not doing.
She hasn't tried it yet.
Why ever not?
Okay, why not, Cherry?
Where's your joy, lass? What have you done with it? Put it in a box.
We put it in a box.
No, I'm acting.
She's acting on it. But maybe...
I grasp the concept you're sharing, but I don't ken it.
So I think you're going to have to amp up the vibration of that even in your communication.
It's a telling thing when you share your shard that it bounces off my heart. It's not bouncing off my heart, lass. Do you ken me?
Yes.
If it's not bouncing off my heart, it's not bouncing off of yours.
She got that.
Allow us a moment. I grasp that this is the extent of what we are to do in this cycle. I'll take a moment to continue to explain that you may know me, you may grasp me, you may ken me, if you wish, as Willa, Hillicrising or Willow, Hillicrism of the Nocturnals. The nocturnal cycle, the nocturne. They are of the night, of the nocturne, and of the nocturnal cycles. 'Tis our gathering, 'tis our grouping, 'tis our power. Kenning and exploring the parallel realities, connecting to the glittering points in the sky, as reference, as web, as shards reflecting to us of the fractured mirror, every star another shard, and reflective of shards within shards within shards. Do you ken that?
Yes.
I'll share more shards again. For now, our upline and your downline shall merge and collapse into a now. But I'll conjure you all into my hearts and reflect to you again, matching the intentions. I bid you bliss.
Thank you, Willa.
Did you enjoy your initial conversation?
That was delightful.
There will be more in times to come. At this timing, however, let us continue our exploration of the idea of more awareness of your shifting, your ongoing shifting into various parallel realities of your preference, by asking in what way now may we be of service to you with your questions.
So if your name was called, and if you wouldn't mind I mean, if everyone doesn't want to get in line right away, that's okay too, because it does take a while, so you don't lose your seat. But at least 5 people, please come up. And just a reminder, when you go sit down, if you could kind of duck down if you're going to go in front of the camera, that would be wonderful. So Sherry is going to adjust the microphone. So if you come up to the microphone.
Hello again, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I have a question. Are we ever going to learn to not to listen to the banksters with their fiat currency?
Repeat.
Well, we're looking at the economic collapse of the worldwide fiat currency system soon. And so I want to know, are we
Is that the world you live in?
Yes. Currently.
Currently. Does this concern you?
Yes.
Why? If it's not the world that you prefer, why do you assume it will in any way, shape, or form affect you in a negative way?
It's just my mindset, is what I think.
But why do
I
you
do.
choose to think that way?
Well, I choose not to, actually.
Well, then it wouldn't be your mindset.
Okay.
Do you not understand the order of these things? It goes from belief system into emotion into thought. You cannot have a thought without having that feeling, and you cannot have that feeling without having a belief. So if that is your mindset, it's because that is your belief system. Make sense?
I'll think about that.
If you want to think about it, go ahead.
Okay.
Are you expressing that you do not yet understand
Yeah, I do
that
not
all
understand.
beliefs generate feelings and thoughts?
Yes.
Well, if you understand that concept, then why would you hold on to beliefs that generate the kinds of thoughts you don't prefer? The kinds of definitions that you're holding on to are what allow you to feel what you're feeling and express the thoughts that you have expressed. And thus, then it also thus creates together your behavior, which sends off a frequency which reinforces the reality you say you don't prefer. So why not go down the line by recognizing that the thoughts you have lead you back to the feelings, leading you back to the beliefs that once you are in touch with, once you are consciously and intentionally aware of what they are, can thus then be let go of and replaced with beliefs that you prefer, which will automatically change your feelings, which will automatically change your thoughts, which will automatically change your mindset, which will automatically change your behavior, which will automatically change your frequency, which will automatically change your reality.
Okay. All right.
Yes?
So then my question is, will we as a species ever break out of this?
Yes.
Like, well, good. That's what I wanted to know.
But you will not experience it if you don't co-create it.
Correct.
So when you ask, will we do it? I'll simply reflect the question back to you. Will you?
I will.
Well then, you know the answer for the reality you will experience. Other people will choose other realities, and it doesn't matter what they choose to experience. Some of them will choose in your world to experience the idea of worldwide collapse in a negative way. That doesn't have to be the parallel reality that you shift to. And if it is the parallel reality that you don't shift to, that your reality is different, it doesn't matter what other people choose, does it?
No.
Then there you go.
Okay. Thank
Does
you.
that help?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I have a very difficult marriage, an unhappy
A
marriage.
difficult marriage.
Unhappy marriage. I have a very difficult relationship with my daughter, which
All right.
I've had since the day she was born.
What is the resistance coming from?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. What beliefs do you have or did you have about the idea of those kinds of relationships before you attracted and created them?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Can you ask me that question again?
Can you ask the same question? Or another question? What are you asking?
I find it difficult to know what to do. I think about leaving, and I don't leave. I stay. It gets increasingly unhappy when I stay. I think about...
What are you learning about yourself in the relationship as it exists so far? Are you learning what your true vibration and your true preference are?
I don't prefer my marriage. I don't prefer my wife.
That's not what I asked you. Are you learning what your true preferences are? I didn't ask you what you are perceiving they are not. Are you learning what your true preferences are?
To a degree.
To what degree?
I'm learning how unhappy I am in this situation.
All right. And what is your definition of a relationship and the purpose of such? What is the purpose of a relationship?
Expansion.
The purpose of a relationship is to reflect to all the others in the relationship what they need to understand to become more of themselves. You understand?
No.
No. Everyone in a relationship is in a relationship for the purpose of helping the other people in the relationship, giving them opportunities to learn to be who they are more and more. Is that clear? No.
No.
What do you think you are supposed to get out of a relationship? Ideally speaking.
Contented existence.
Content. Content to do what? To be what?
To be myself.
You think that that's what a relationship is supposed to do?
I don't know what a relationship is supposed to do.
Well, thank you for your honesty. Why do you think you're having trouble in your relationships then? It's not really surprising if you don't know what they're for that you would be having difficulty in them. Because you don't understand, you don't have a clear definition of what a relationship actually is. And that simply means that first and foremost, you don't have a clear relationship with yourself. So what areas of yourself are you unclear about in terms of who you are, who you prefer to be, what your excitement is, and whether or not you're acting on it?
I'm confused about finding my excitement.
How can you be confused about something so simple? It ought to be obvious. Unless you're defining the idea of your excitement as something difficult to find, which obviously you may be doing.
I think I'm doing that, yes.
Well, why? What do you get out of making it so complicated and mysterious? It's not difficult to act on your excitement. Why did you come to this gathering tonight? Did it excite you?
Yes.
Well, that wasn't difficult, was it?
It was, yeah. I came from England.
It was difficult?
Not too difficult, no. It was
But you came.
I came, yeah.
Therefore, you acted on your excitement, yes?
Yes.
All right. So the whole point is that you don't necessarily have to have some overarching concept of a career or a project to act on your excitement. All you need to do, as we have explained the equation many times, is to simply look around for whatever opportunities are available to you that contain the highest amount of excitement and act on the one that has the most excitement first, that you have the greatest degree of ability to take action on, taking it as far as you possibly can until you can take it no further, with absolutely zero insistence on what you believe the outcome ought to be. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Act on whatever opportunity contains the highest excitement at any given moment, that you have the greatest degree of taking action on, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further, with absolutely zero insistence on what the outcome ought to be. And as soon as you have done those 4 things, the 5th thing, the 5th instruction would be repeat. Over and over and over and over and over and over again. Every time you come to a crossroad, look around, stop, take a moment, look at all the opportunities, no matter what they are, no matter how simple they may seem, whether they seem connected to something else or not that you think they ought to be connected to. Just look at the opportunities available to you to act on and just keep picking whatever one has the most excitement, the most attraction, the most drive in it, and act on it to the best of your ability until you can act on it no further with absolutely zero expectation or insistence on a particular outcome. And if you just keep doing that, that's all you have to do to align yourself with the mechanism of synchronicity and allow the machine of creation to work for you in a positive context. And it will thus then help you clear up all the confusion because you will be using the machine in an appropriate way. And when you do that, because excitement is not only the driving engine and the organizing principle of your life, but because it is a complete kit, it will bring to your attention while you're doing that any idea, any definition, any belief within you that is not compatible with the vibration of your excitement, and bring it to your attention so that you can understand what you may be holding on to as a belief that is out of alignment with your truth, and give you the opportunity to let that go as not belonging to you so that you can transform that energy of resistance into more energy of excitement, which will thus then expand your ability to see even more opportunities of exciting things to act upon. That's how it works. That's the whole formula. That's all there is, period. Is this helping?
It was a lot of information to take in.
Then, if you wish some time to ponder it and let it sink in until you are capable of truly understanding it and making it your own, by all means, then do you have what you need? Or not?
Not.
Do you understand how what we have said will apply to your question about relationships? Because the first relationship is about you with yourself. And if you don't understand yourself and you're not in touch with your beliefs, then you're going to be confused about any relationship that you have attracted in your life or will attract. So the first step is always to clarify who you are and develop the relationship between your physical and higher mind as clearly as you can so that you can get a handle on the relationship with yourself and the relationship of yourself to creation. And then that will help clarify any other relationships in your life, and you will know thus then by comparison what to do, how to act. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, it makes more sense, yeah.
All right. So let this sink in. If that's what you wish to do, think about it again and again until it makes more sense, until you understand how to give yourself the opportunity to really look clearly at the belief systems you're holding on to about you with yourself in your relationship to creation. And once those start becoming clear, all the rest of it will clear up too. All right?
Okay, can I ask one more question?
That was a question.
I will ask one more question.
Thank you.
If I did things which raised my frequency, would that make it easier for me to understand what is my highest excitement?
Acting on your highest excitement is what will raise your frequency and make it easier to understand what else is reflective of your highest excitement. But you have to act that way first. You have to be the state of being first. You cannot put the cart before the horse, as you say in your language. If you are not the state first, you're incapable of perceiving the things that are relevant to that state. You cannot perceive something you are not the vibration of. Make sense?
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And you, good day.
Thank you for creating this exciting moment with us.
And you as well.
It has quite a synchronicity. Last night, my wife was picked to ask you a question. And
Oh,
you were
all right.
Sharing with her. So in a way, I will continue the conversation that had to do with the issue or the idea of choice
All right.
versus free will,
Yes.
so to speak. And
Well, choice is free will. We said the idea is that it's a combination of destiny and free will.
yes, and you used the metaphor last night that we can arrange, so to speak, the film strip.
Yes.
And that you mentioned that we, in a way, raise up in our dream state into the template level reality.
Yes.
And there we make arrangements, and then
Yes.
we come back, so to speak, into
Yes.
this
So to
level
speak,
of consciousness.
yes.
Okay. So in that sense, it's it seems that the ones making the rearrangement, or when you say you have the choice or you create your own reality, I would like more clarification about which part of our consciousness is that you referring to, because it's obviously not the physical mind's you or the physical mind's identity.
The higher mind.
Okay. So
The higher mind level
It's
is
the
working directly with the template level reality.
Okay.
And thus then the idea is that the physical mind, as we have said, is really just the diving mask to allow you to experience what the higher mind has arranged in the template. But when you go to that level, you are blended in that sense as the higher mind, therefore it is your choice from that level. Even though the physical mind may forget that or not know that, when it reconnects with the idea of the physical perspective, when you put the mask back on, nevertheless, it's still the product of your choice on that level. Now, again, that doesn't mean that the choice is always for the specific thing that's happening exactly the way it's happening. But the idea is that the choice is for certain windows of opportunity that can be represented by many different kinds of experiences. The physical mind will determine which experience is going to be attracted to represent the choice that was made based on the belief systems within the physical personality construct. That's why it is important to clarify the physical personality construct, to clarify the definitions, so that the personality construct is as aligned with the higher mind as it possibly can be, so that the choices, in a sense, the experiences that are the result of the choice that was made can be most representative of the fact that the choice was made from a higher level, can be more representative of that higher frequency rather than those that are representative of resistance and negative vibration. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Does that explain it, or is there some more clarification that is required?
I would like to touch upon another aspect of that.
All right.
For example, when you have mentioned that basically we just need to follow our excitement,
Yes.
since excitement is a complete kit,
Yes.
and it's its driving engine and the organizing principle of it all.
Yes.
And all the appointments that has already been arranged in a way,
Yes.
so we don't have to worry about it or whatever. So in that sense, it seems that there's a storyline already.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Pay no attention to them.
Yeah, I'm not. So, so in a sense, it comes down to a point in which basically I just surrender to my excitement and that's it.
Yes. Is that too simple?
No, it's wonderful.
All right. It is, in fact, full of wonder.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Another question about another topic.
Yes.
I would like your
Reflection
on.
Yes.
Is the paradoxical nature of the idea of physical reality being an illusion and an experience within our consciousness.
Yes.
And at the same time, referencing to it as something being there. For example, when you share things that relate, for example, to spaceships or to
Yes.
the time
Yes.
linearity or whatever.
Yes.
It seems, it's relating to that as if it's tangible, but at the same
Yes.
time, it's all an illusion.
Yes. Do you recall that we recently transmitted an idea called this
and
Yes.
that? Does that not explain it?
Yes.
Well, then, you used to think this or that. Is it this or is it that? We have thus then transmitted that is this and that, and beyond that is the understanding that this is that from a different point of view. So, yes, it's all taking place within your consciousness, and it is all being experienced as if it is out there, over there, that thing. But that is not a contradiction, even though it is a paradox. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
Does that address the question then?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Last question.
Yes.
My wife yesterday was asking you about if there was any. She's sensing that there's a message from her hybrid children.
Yes.
For some reason, I connected just prior to making the question with the idea that her hybrid children and my hybrid children are also related in a way, and that
Some overlap in
say
certain
that
ways.
We have
Others
both
do not.
our hybrid children.
Yes.
So, is there anything that you sense from them, or connection, or message that?
Has neither you nor your wife had a dream about this?
She followed your suggestion last night
And?
about prior to going to sleep, setting
And?
intention, and she didn't recall anything. the
Are
next
you
morning.
sure?
She recalled after a while a few dreams, but apparently from her awareness right now, at least, there's no evident connection.
Then we would say examine the dream more deeply. You will find what you're looking for in it.
Okay. Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you, Bashar.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day,
This is such a good ride.
isn't it?
Really, really excited about this.
Yes.
I have had 60 years of experience in being misunderstood.
60 years of experience in
Of
being
being
misunderstood.
Yes.
Is that an advertising banner?
No, but it should be, in my case.
Oh, all right.
It's been painful and
All right.
frustrating and made me angry.
Oh,
and
all right.
All of that.
All your stepping stones
Yes.
and all your badges of honor.
Yes. And
And now,
when I first experienced your transmission for the first time,
yes,
it was the most amazing thing that had ever happened in my life. It was when I was in my 30s.
all right.
And it was truth for the first time. And it has made me feel so much love for you and for all of you, and so much deep appreciation for what you've done for me in my life.
All right, but you have done it for yourself.
I have.
We are happy to have been a part of it, but you have done it for yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did. I'm
Yes.
so proud of myself.
Yes.
Now I had a dream when I was in my 30s, and I
Yes.
want to know if this really happened to me in this lifetime. I understand. I mean, maybe I understand. I don't know. Or if it was an alternate reality, or if it's something I'm remembering.
The dream would
The
be what?
dream was me in California, standing on an overlook, looking deep into a valley, and there were ships
Yes.
landing.
Yes.
I knew that I knew them.
Yes.
People around me
Yes.
were very apprehensive,
Yes.
but I was with great excitement and great joy,
All right,
and
well,
running to see them.
As Willa would say, this is up the line.
So it didn't actually happen in this experience.
It has happened in the template level reality since all things exist now, but you haven't perceived it yet as a manifestation in your physical level.
Okay.
But it is up the line.
Wonderful. That was great. My hybrid children, I have no conscious recognition of this, but I have a niece who passed on recently. Her name is Alyssa, and she's my sister's daughter, and I relate the two of them, or I relate.
Does daffodils mean anything to you?
No. Not that I know of.
Then maybe that's a little bit up the line as well. Look for daffodils
Okay.
It will form a vibrational connection to the niece.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes, thank you. And
Yes?
you were talking about relationships with the gentleman.
I was.
Yes, and I have a similar experience that is very, very frustrating for me.
Oh,
How-
you don't like your wife either?
No, I don't like my wife. No, no. I need a new one.
Oh, all right.
Okay. My experience has been frustrating in the sense that my husband has been in an accident.
All right.
And he has brain damage.
All right.
And he's very hard to communicate with.
All right.
And
Depends on how you choose to communicate.
that's true. And it's frustrating for me. And I look at him as a reflection. So I work.
It doesn't mean it's a one-to-one reflection. It
So-
just means that it's in your life for a reason, and you need to get something out of it, but it may not necessarily be the same thing that he is getting out of it.
So I am as much a reflection to him.
Of course. But again, it's not a one-to-one reflection.
So I'm reflecting more to him than he is to me.
Different things is what we're saying. When we say it's not a one-to-one, we mean it's not necessarily the same issue.
Can you clarify?
What is the source of your frustration?
Boy, not
Girl.
lack of lack of communication.
Then why not communicate in a different way?
I've tried everything I can. I don't know how. I don't know
What
how
have
else.
you attempted?
Not communicating.
Not communicating.
Yeah.
Brilliant!
I've tried walking away completely.
How did that work out?
Not very well. Not very well.
All right.
I feel
And
like
what
I've
forms
done
of communication have you attempted?
patience
That's a form of communication?
with him. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Why do you need patience?
He doesn't understand anything I say
So what? Why do you need patience?
because we have to communicate on.
Do you
a level.
understand that the only reason you need patience is because you're impatient?
Yes,
Well, then why are you impatient?
because I don't like the communication that we have.
Then why don't you create a new communication?
I will do that. I don't know how yet, but I will do that.
Where's your imagination?
Boy, it's full.
Is it really?
Yes, it's full.
Well, have you found the form of communication yet that will allow you to express yourself in the way that you prefer to?
Humor works,
Humor works.
but it's not always. It's not the relationship I want.
What is the relationship you want?
Communication. I want to be able to be understood
Why is that so important?
because it makes me feel invalid.
You mean you choose to feel
Yes,
invalid?
I choose to feel that.
Well, why do you choose that?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
What are you getting out of choosing to feel invalid?
It has shown me more love for myself.
Well,
Yes. And
then
that's-
you know
that's-
you are not invalid, yes?
Yes. Oh, I know that. Yes.
Well, if you know that, then why do you choose to feel that you are invalid?
I'm still processing it all.
Oh, all right. Well, then, if you are still processing it, you can't be surprised that you will have feelings of invalidation, and thus then that will lead to the feelings of frustration and feeling that you are not understood. Okay. All of that stems from the choice you're making.
Yes.
If you don't prefer that, make another choice.
All right. I feel like I follow my excitement when I'm not around him, and I don't when I'm with him. I'm choosing that.
Why?
I know there's a reason.
Well, what is it?
I don't know.
What reason have you created?
Help me.
Take responsibility.
For?
The things that you create, the perceptions that you choose.
I created him.
You created a version of him in your
Right.
reality for your own reasons. Take responsibility for the co-creation, for your part of the co-creation that you experience in your reality. There is something that you are learning.
Yes.
What are you learning?
I'm learning to have more love for myself and to not care that he invalidates me and that he doesn't understand me. But it
How
would be
does he invalidate you?
okay, how I invalidate
Thank
myself.
you. So he is teaching you
Yes.
how to allow yourself to choose to know you're valid.
Yes.
Well, Isn't that a wonderful lesson?
That is a
That he
wonderful-
is communicating to you?
Yay! Yes.
Perhaps it's not really about the idea so much of what you need to say, but what you need to listen to.
Okay. Very good.
Yes?
Yes. He
All
tells
right.
me to shut up all the time. Maybe I should listen.
Maybe. Because when you are quiet, you can hear more of what's there.
Thank you.
It doesn't have to be presented in a negative way, but the whole point is that even if he does present it in a negative way, it is up to you. It's your duty to yourself to not interpret it in a negative way by taking it personally, because it's not about you.
Okay.
It's about his own fears.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Therefore, why are you assuming that what he is telling you that may be coming out in a negative way has anything at all to do with you?
Okay.
It has to do with your belief in your own lack of validity, that you accept it as a truth.
Yes. Yes.
All right, then,
Thank you.
in that sense, just listen to the truth within you and stop trying to drown it out with what you think is communication, but what in many cases is just noise.
That is beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
My best friend passed away
Yes.
this year. Marge, she was 88 and she was a beautiful teacher.
What a beautiful number.
Yes, it is. And she taught me what unconditional love was all about.
All right.
Can I hear something from her? I want that veil to be thinner.
When's the last time you went to a piano concerto? 88 keys.
Wow. 2 years ago.
Time to go.
Yes, thank you.
You are welcome.
I love you.
Our unconditional love to you as well.
Greetings and good day, Bashar.
Good day to you.
In one of the previous transmissions, you
Yes.
alluded to the idea that we created you. Do you recall that
You are
statement?
creating your version of me in your reality.
Okay.
And literally, genetically, in a sense, in many ways, you are our ancestors.
This is something that really, I'm totally unable to comprehend it. The idea that
Yes.
we all exist together in this shared reality, and yet
Yes.
I'm the only one here, you're the only one here.
Yes.
What's the interfacing method, and what happens when I
The
do
interface
something
takes place on another level.
a higher level than the physical world?
Yes.
And as you drop down to the physical, that's this.
Because the very definition of physical reality creates the experience of compartmentalization.
Okay.
So that's why you have to experience everything made out of your own energy in your own compartment, your own compartmentalized version of that reality experience. But on what you would call a higher level in that sense, well, there still is obviously a sense of your own identity. It's not as compartmentalized, and you have more recognition of the interface in that sense, more experience of it.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yes, and so the oversoul represents the connected
Yes.
state of existence.
Yes.
And in that sense, when we pass on from this life, we exist as an oversoul, or are we still a
You
separated
can still
consciousness?
exist and always will as an individuated spirit, and at the same time, you can also experience yourself from the oversoul level. Remember that as you, so to speak, ascend all the way up, even to the level of all that is, you will experience every one of those levels as you.
Right.
You don't lose your identity. You simply realize that you are all that's there. It's always viewed from the perspective of yourself, from your identity perspective, even though it will be experienced in a very different way than you experience your identity in physical reality. It's still experienced from your point of view.
Yeah, okay.
Make sense?
Kind of like shards of glass, maybe?
Like shards of the fractured mirror.
Yesterday, you also...
Oh, one moment. All right, all right.
Oh.
Shards of the Fractured Mirror by Holly Cotton.
Yeah. Copyright, something. Okay. Yesterday, you mentioned the number represented by pi,
Yes.
and you followed that by saying cycles per second, which leads me to wonder if that's not some sort of allusion to a vibration, a shift of vibration for 2013?
It's not an illusion, it's a direct statement.
Allusion, a reference to.
Yes,
is
I
what
know.
meant.
It's not a reference to, it was a direct statement.
Okay. What is the vibration we're coming from that we're going to be shifting into this 3.141?
Well, we are talking about a different kind of frequency domain here, represented in a different way.
Okay.
The idea, however, is that generally speaking, on your planet, 333
Kilohertz?
No.
Oh.
333,000 cycles per second.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
You could say it that way if you wish.
I see.
But 333,000 cycles per second is the vibrational domain between physical and non-physical reality.
Yeah.
The idea is that many of you are now upgrading, and in the idea of fourth density reality, will reach a general average of the low 200,000s. And as you thus then, as we are doing, go up the ladder, so to speak, and become more the idea of quasi-physical beings, you'll come closer and closer and closer on average to the idea of the 333,000 cycle per second frequency domain. But the idea is that pi is a factor of that.
Right.
Thus then, if you begin there with pi as a seedling and begin to amplify it, you will amplify it in such a manner with that as the original basis that you will thus then be a harmonic of the higher frequency, and it will in a sense be easier to transition and shift from parallel world to parallel world that contains the harmonic of that frequency to allow you to feel the acceleration in a more visceral way.
Kind of like catching a wave, huh?
Yes, exactly.
When you talked about the space-time resonator,
Yes.
you mentioned that that frequency was the frequency used for achieving the tunneling effect. And I'm wondering about that because the space-time resonator also appears to be a way to bring energy down from space-time, yeah?
We said it is a step-down transformer.
The energy that flows through the space-time resonator
Yes.
is not an electron-type energy, isn't it?
No. Although it can be converted into such.
In the conversion, would it work to use an inductive method? In other words, to create the space-time resonator, which is a closed loop,
Yes.
and then wrap around that another kind of coil, a reactant coil?
Yes,
that
because
inducts
that's
it out?
how you have to siphon the energy off and translate it into a form of energy that you can use.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
In building that apparatus,
Yes.
what would change the nature of the energy by the windings per meter? In other words, if I had a coil that had, say, 5 windings per meter,
Yes.
what would that do differently than one that, say, had 30 windings per meter, like a higher rate of winding? What would be the
It would be
difference?
something that you could fine-tune more easily rather than simply having a coarse translation.
Okay, right. So the lower winding is a coarser
Yes.
form of
And thus, in a
less control.
sense, less usable or
Yeah.
less controllable.
Okay. So it would make sense.
It would act as a form of high volume release capacitor discharging all at once. It could cause a little damage.
I see.
But the more windings, the finer the tuning, the more you have the ability to tune the frequency to exactly the pitch you wish.
Kind of like a higher resolution of
Yes.
control. And in controlling it, do we change the physical length of the wire to tune it, or can I just use a reactant circuit to do that? Like a capacitor resistor circuit?
You can use that if you wish, but you will have to find a new design other than the ones that exist on your planet at this time. And we have already actually described this as a series of nested capacitors of certain volume and certain shape that create certain resonant frequencies within one the other.
That's in one of the other transmissions.
Yes, it is.
Nested capacitors, that's really interesting.
Yes, it is.
Because the space-time resonator is a nested coil, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's starting to make sense.
Thank you. It's about time.
We're kind of thick at this point in our track.
No, that's all right. I wasn't making a reference to that. I was giving you more information. It's about time.
Oh, it's about time and frequency.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, one last thing. What is, from your perspective, the Akashic record?
It is simply the ability to recognize that everything exists here and now and therefore is always accessible to you if you are simply vibrating at the correct frequency for the information you wish to download. It is not in that sense a repository somewhere out there in the mysterious depths of space. It is not even in that sense really being recorded on the fabric of space and time, although you can create that euphemism if that works for you as a permission slip. But really the idea is to allow yourself to let go of the old-fashioned, outmoded definition of this and simply recognize that at its heart, it is simply the understanding that everything exists here and now and therefore is accessible to you if you allow your vibration to be in the here and now and pitched to whatever the relevant information is that you desire.
So it's always about your consciousness, your conscious frequency matching
It's all about resonance.
Yeah.
It's all about resonance. And this is how to use also various parallel realities in that way, because each has its own frequency. I'll put it to you this way, as you would say in an anagram: parallel reality, permission slip, PRPS, purpose. All right?
Good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bashar, hello.
And to you, good day.
Hello. I'm new to all this. I heard my first...
So are we. Brand new. Because every moment is the first moment.
That it is, yes.
Yes. And so, speak up and be bold so that all may hear what you have to share.
Okay, so I have been really enjoying following my highest excitement.
Why, thank you.
Yes, it's been wonderful, and I feel the magic. I feel the opportunities.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. It's funny. I
Yes.
laugh in my sleep. It's just,
Yes.
it's
I
amazing.
believe a new word recently coined in your earth language would be redonkulous.
Yes. So, I'm in these places where I'm feeling this high vibration. I'm
Yes.
feeling connected. I'm
Yes.
feeling connected to my higher self. And I'm
Yes.
guided.
Well, the vibration is your higher self's vibration.
Yes.
When you say this vibration,
I
connected to
recognize.
that vibration, it is your vibration you're experiencing. It is your energy at a certain frequency pitch. That's what you're experiencing. It's you, more of you.
And I'm more aware of it.
Yes.
I'm aware of the shifts.
Yes, because you are already a totality. So it's not like you actually become more of an energy, it's that you become more aware of the energy that's there.
So how to hold on to that awareness? It feels like it comes and goes, and when
There
it goes,
will always be ebbs and flows depending upon the relevance of holding a particular frequency and the need to change and shift your frequency to have certain experiences. But again, remember, you don't have to look at it like this. You can look at it like this. You're always rising. You understand?
I do, and I feel that.
All right.
I also feel that I'm meant to be more and to do more, and I feel.
And in what way would you like to do that? In what way would you like to act on your highest excitement so that you are aligned with the concept of being more of who you are, that you're not already doing?
Following through.
Following through. Does that mean you're not acting on your highest excitement? Or that you're defining things in a way that is not exciting? Because if you were really acting on your highest excitement, why wouldn't you just keep acting?
Fear.
And that is a vibration that's not compatible with your highest excitement, although it is a variant of it. Because fear is your excitement energy filtered through a belief system that's out of alignment with your true self. That's what fear is. So fear lets you know you have an out of alignment belief system that you're funneling your energy through. Thus, it brings it to your attention so you can work with it, deal with it, transform it, let it go, and add that energy to your overall excitement, yes?
Yes. And
therefore, you're not afraid of having fear, are you?
No.
All right. So, what belief system are you holding on to that is generating the fear?
The I can't belief system.
I can't what? Obviously, there are many things in your life that you can.
Yes.
What are the things you believe you can't? Can you name one?
Follow through.
But what does follow through mean?
Complete.
Why does it need to be completed?
Do I just skip around and do a little of this and a little of that?
Skipping is fun.
Skipping is fun.
Look at your definition. Clarify your definition. Sometimes confusion is created in your minds by assuming that you're skipping around when in fact all you're doing is acting on different expressions of the same overall excitement. Is that what's happening, or are you truly avoiding something because of your definitions of it?
Oh, I think I might be avoiding something.
Then why do you avoid the thing you say you love to do? How are you defining the thing you say as your excitement in such a way that would make you want to stop doing it and go in another direction? What are you afraid will happen if you keep going, if you follow through?
Well, I do a lot of things that I love to do. And
I didn't ask you that.
Oh,
What are you afraid will happen if you follow through on what you say is something that excites you? What's the worst possible thing you're afraid might happen if you follow through? Come on. I know you have the imagination to answer this. Dig into your fear. What's the worst possible thing? Come on, give over to your imagination. Amplify, magnify the fear so that it becomes so big it's self-evident as to what it is you are afraid of.
that it won't be all that I thought it would be. So there's the expectation.
Yes, there's that insistence that it has to come out this way, because if it doesn't, something's wrong, 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 wrong. Are you starting to hear yourself?
I am.
You see, this is what happens when you amplify the negative belief. Amplify the fear is it becomes so big you can't miss what it is you're buying into. And thus then you recognized that you were having that insistence, that expectation that it had to come out a certain way or something was wrong. So now you have clarified that particular belief. Any other beliefs hanging around that you don't prefer?
Oh, goodness, yes, I'm sure.
Well, aren't you exciting? All right. What is another belief you're hanging on to that holds you back from acting on your highest excitement to the extent that you would prefer to? What else do you believe will happen if you follow through, as you say?
I have this sense that I'm supposed to be self-sufficient and strong.
Well, you are self-sufficient.
I am?
Of course you are.
Okay.
Remember, there is no such thing as a lack of abundance. There is only an abundance of lack.
Abundance of lack. Yes.
Therefore, you are using your abundance to create lack. Use your abundance to create something else.
Okay.
Because you are abundant. You are self-sufficient. It's just how you're using it. You understand?
Okay, yes.
Does that help?
It does.
All right.
It does help.
So examine that belief. Examine your definitions of what you think you need instead of allowing your life to show you what form of abundance you may need at any given moment, instead of insisting that if it's not this, something's wrong, 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 wrong.
Yes, yes.
Is this helping?
This helps. I have another question.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, it helps. Thank you.
All right.
Also, I'm wondering, is it helpful for us to know what our extraterrestrial heritage or connections are?
Not necessarily.
No.
Why?
So, well, would it?
Remember that all these things exist simultaneously, yes?
Yes.
Not really in the past, not really a heritage in the way that you usually mean that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cross connection to other lives going on simultaneously that you believed you needed in order to download information from to help you, aid and assist you in the exploration of your theme in this life. So, yes, it can be helpful, but the point is that if you act on your highest excitement, synchronicity will bring you whatever information from those other concurrent lives you need to know. And what it doesn't bring you, you don't need to know. Because why? Excitement is a complete kit.
It's a complete kit.
It leaves nothing out. Dictionary definition of the word complete. Leaves nothing out in totality.
I like that.
All right.
That's very helpful. One more quick question, because I don't remember what it refers to exactly, but you say the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it.
Abundance definition.
Oh, the
the
abundance.
ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. No matter in what form the abundance comes, the abundance will give you the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. Not what you want to do, what you need to do.
Okay, you were just reading my mind. So that
Yes.
was the question. Exactly.
It's a lovely mind.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, so why do we use need instead of want? Because need
The
refers to
idea
lack.
is usually expressed in your reality, not to make you walk on eggshells, not to make you watch every single little word, but the understanding that needs to come with this is the idea that very often your physical mind, locking itself into negative definitions, will want this and want that, when in fact it doesn't really need those things. You understand?
Yes.
So it's attempting to appease itself because it has been made to feel that it has a hole that it needs to fill. But the idea really is that it doesn't necessarily need those things. It just wants them because it thinks it needs them. But what you really need, you are always given. Always. And when you truly understand and allow that, every single thing you are given that you truly need will allow you to know and experience that on every level, including the physical mind, you are absolutely fulfilled. And then it won't need to want anything.
It won't need to want anything.
No.
Oh, I like it.
Does that help?
Yes. Thank you, Bashar.
Thank you. Also, please remember, as an addendum to this, that very often when many people spend time wanting this and wanting that, the implication in the definition of the word means you don't already have it. Therefore, you will create an experience where you are constantly simply wanting and not actually having.
Welcome.
And to you, good day. Just making sure you're all awake.
I want to congratulate you on crossing over your threshold.
Why,
just as
thank
we
you.
did. My question to you is, how is your ascension going on that
Perfectly.
plane?
Automatically.
Share it.
As we have said, our vibrational understanding of our reality now has shifted from Ethasani to Eshakani. Thus, then, the idea is that we recognize and are experiencing more and more that we are, in fact, exalted light, made of light, and experiencing the quasi-physicalness of that reality, and are more blended with the idea of our higher minds and the crystallization of our higher minds, which are our ships. Thus, we travel ensconced in a bubble of our own higher mind that actually has a crystallization that is tangible in our reality, because everything in our reality now is quasi-physical, quasi-energy. But that is what is real to us. Thus, then, our perception expands in a variety of ways that allows us now to see more and more opportunities for interface and interaction with other beings, learning their expression of how they have represented the idea of the relationship with their own higher minds, and in understanding that from the perspective of our higher mind permission slip symbols, we thus have a greater degree of interface connectivity with other civilizations who express themselves in a variety of other ways that were heretofore beyond our imagining, but now are within our ability to imagine and encompass and include.
Thank you. see you again soon.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I'd like to share a couple of dream fragments that I had recently.
Dream fragments.
So,
all right.
The first one, I was with a commando team going up a beach.
All right.
And through trees.
Yes.
And there was these extremely powerful waves coming behind us, and we were kind of running away from them.
Yes.
Then we came down into a village, and there was kind of a battle.
Yes.
And I shot
kind of a battle or a battle?
Big battle.
Thank you.
And I shot a woman.
Yes.
And as she was dying, I had her in my arms.
Yes.
And she tells me, "Your daughter Merope is doing fine. She's in space." And then she died.
Oh, all right.
So then a couple weeks later, another dream, sort of related. I'm on a community college campus in Oakland, near where I live. And,
all right. Yes, we understand the position on your planet.
Okay, good. And there's rolling hills, and I'm walking up a slope, and I look down, and I see this a teenage girl sitting there having lunch with friends.
Yes.
And she's got giant, bright, sparkling eyes. And she's looking up at me with this very excited look, like she wants to talk to me.
Yes.
And then a pack of wild dogs come down, and I'm dealing with them. So anyways, that's those two fragments. And
one moment. We are laughing. Go ahead.
What was so funny?
We understand what these symbols mean, and we understand how they're being used. And it's very humorous.
Can you tell me how they're being used and what they mean?
Yes. Well, first of all, let us remind you that we have said that many of you have already had contact, and many of you have contact with your hybrid children, but you don't always remember this. You understand?
Yeah.
But the memories will often come back as dream fragments.
Uh-huh.
So you are remembering interactions with real beings, but you're wrapping these interactions, these memories, in earth symbolism to represent different facets of your own consciousness in terms of how you're dealing with this, how you're absorbing this information, how you're incorporating this information, how you're balancing this information. Dogs are the symbol of service and the symbol of Sirius, at least one of them. So the idea is that the Sirius energy came charging down, but in a way that overwhelmed you, in a way that broke your attention from the idea of having that relationship with that being, with the sparkling eyes. So it's still showing you that you're not quite ready to handle the level of energy that is actually involved in a true interaction, in a true awake, aware interaction. And thus then you roused yourself awake, in a sense, by having the dogs bark, by having them chase you like a pack. In a sense, they were warning you, or you were warning yourself, using them as a symbol, that you weren't quite ready to fully wake up into this reality. You still wanted it to remain as a dream, so it didn't have to be necessarily considered fully real. And so they were happy to oblige by snapping at your heels to chase you away from what you're not yet ready to handle. But you did it in a very humorous, sort of play-like way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Was that person that I saw with the sparkling eyes the daughter that was referred to in the other dream? So it's a hybrid child?
Yes.
Okay, and okay, so great. But one thing I was really curious about as far as the hybrid children, what are their days like? What are their quarters like on the ships?
Comfortable.
Their teachers?
Fun.
Is there natural environments on the ship, like wild spaces for them to be in?
Yes, but there are also many planets. We don't necessarily have to create or recreate the idea of an total environment on a ship when it's just as easy to take them to a planet where they can walk around on the surface. Okay. Our own world of Ethithani, Shakani, is very natural. There are almost no structures on it at all. Many of them visit our world and other worlds that are very natural in that way, or have other kinds of structures, or other kinds of civilizations that they can interact with. Their days are very full. Their days are very exciting. Their days are very interesting and mysterious and curious.
Sounds fun.
It is. And it's no more fun than your own days. It's just that they make more of their days. Do you understand?
Yeah, I do.
But you can make just as much of your own days, and they can be just as curious, just as mysterious, just as fun, just as exciting. Remember that to them, you are very alien, very exotic. So be exotic to yourself and discover what you haven't yet discovered about who you really are. Because many of you may think you know who you are or what you are. Many of you haven't got a clue what you really are. And even though many of you feel like you're cross-connecting to the idea of extraterrestrial existences, and thus, in a sense, feeling like you're becoming more of an ET, what you're actually doing is becoming fully human. Does this help?
Yeah, it does. And one last thing about that is the girl with sparkling eyes had tattoo sleeves down her arms.
Yes.
I can't figure out what that means.
The symbols, again, are another form of language that you have yet to interpret.
Okay.
They are not dissimilar to some of the sacred circuits that we've already delivered to you, but they include other symbols we have not yet delivered, but it is their job to deliver to you. And it has to do with opening up your telepathic abilities to communicate with them in a different way.
Okay.
One moment. Some of the symbols are also representative of something that Willa will eventually share with you, which are parallel reality permission slip symbols. So you've already gotten a hint and a clue of something yet to come.
Okay. And
And
so that's one hybrid child I met. Are there others or just that one?
there are others of a sort. We are not given to give you that information.
Okay. All right, well, that's it from me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
It is quite an honor to be here again. I've asked you questions before.
Oh, all right.
So we're going to try this again tonight.
No, we will not.
Oh.
We will be doing this for the very first time, here and now.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remembered you said that tonight. Okay. For the very first time, here is my first question.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Drum roll, please.
All right. Okay, I have always puzzled about this.
Yes.
Is there one great soul, or do we have soul merges, or do our souls come and go at different stages in our lives? And if so, what is the purpose for this?
Depends on what you're defining a soul to be, because there can be many different perspectives of what you mean by that term.
Well, from what we've been told, it's like our higher essence that is here
There is
lifetime after lifetime after lifetime.
Well, again, remember, that's a perspective. Okay. All lives exist at the same time.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Yes.
So you can create the experience that a spirit and a soul is going from life to life.
Okay.
And that experience can be real, but that's not an accurate description of the mechanism, the structure that actually exists, because it all exists now, and all the lives exist at the same time.
Well, have you ever heard of soul merges? Because I've been told that there's such a thing.
We understand what you're talking about, and in a
Okay.
sense, yes, they exist, because obviously if an oversoul, being one thing, can, quote-unquote, split itself into a multitude of individual souls, each of which can create the idea of the experience of a physical life that converts that soul into the spirit that is representative of that physical experience, then obviously souls can also merge back into collectives as well.
And is that for expansion or spiritual growth?
Yes.
Or more,
And all of it.
All of, and more awareness.
Yes.
So this actually does happen. That's
And for fun.
fun.
Yes,
Okay.
fun. The soul can have fun, you know.
Okay, explore that.
Go ahead.
I mean, you said fun, souls
Yes.
have fun. Would you explain that?
Well, from the soul perspective, it is fun to understand that when they create this idea of soul blending, they thus then become, in essence, a mini oversoul who perhaps is blending 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 individual lives all at once. and learning how to, in a sense, bounce around between them and having different perspectives where they're all overlapping. And thus playing, in a sense, a game with itself of seeing how elements from this life might match elements from this life, how they can dovetail, how they can interweave, how they can interleave with each other and create a whole new idea of what a life can actually be, that can actually be experienced as an incarnation in another dimensional reality where such things are possible, according to the laws of physics there.
Can we ever be consciously aware that this is happening?
Of course.
How?
Do you mean as a physical human?
Yes. Yes.
Not completely, no, because by definition, you are not perceiving from the soul level. But you can be aware that it exists. You can have some sense of what it is like. You can create analogies that are relevant for your physical reality senses. But you're not going to experience it from the soul level unless you choose to experience it from the soul level.
Well, could I ask that I experience it in my dreams?
Yes, but again, remember that your dreams will always be clothed, in a sense, in symbolism that is relevant to physical reality for your physical mind. Otherwise, it simply will make no sense to you. And therefore, it's not always going to be exactly representative of what the soul itself experienced, but it's going to be somewhat representative, as best as it can be, in your earth language, in your earth symbolism.
Well, does that help me while I'm here? I'm trying to understand.
Of course it does.
It
Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it.
Oh, okay. So it helps me more to expand.
Yes.
And the higher my vibration, the more I become aware of this, right?
Exactly.
That is cool. I like that. Thank you. And I have another question.
Yes.
Okay. I was told one time that I represent the great mother image, and I had a mirror where I've had beings to come and I take pictures of them, and I saw this image of this mother.
All right.
And the mother was cradling the baby Earth in her arms.
Yes.
Is this an alternate reality, or is
It
this
is an
something that I'm
archetypal
doing?
representation that you are connecting to vibrationally that is, in its own terms, an alternate reality, because every form of consciousness has some form of autonomy. But it is an alternate dimension in which such things can be expressed, but you're also creating that symbolism for yourself in earth terms so that you can relate to it.
So is that helping to heal Mother Earth?
It is helping you become more the vibration of the Mother Earth you prefer to shift to.
Wow, that's nice. I like that. One last question. Boy, nice answers. I love these answers. Okay, I told you about the mirror. And I've had, for the last 7 or 8 years, images that come in the mirror.
Yes.
And then I take pictures of them. And one time I saw an angel, and she was dropping all of these books down, and I was at the bottom, and I was collecting them.
Yes.
And then I also had dreams where angels came and said, you're going to write. And after that, I did write.
All right, and so?
It was channeled.
Yes.
So I have all of these books that I've written, and I
Yes.
have this work that I do called
Yes.
Soul Memory.
We
so I'm
assume that
asking
this is your excitement, yes?
That is mine. I love it. I
All
love
right.
it. Yes.
And so?
My question is, this
Yes.
is helping me to expand.
Of course.
And my goal is to help a lot
Your
of people.
what?
Goal. What's wrong with that word?
You don't trust the way your life naturally unfolds, that it will automatically contain the ability to help others without necessarily needing to make it a goal?
Okay. I'm working on trust even more.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
No, you're working on what it is you choose to put your trust in.
Well, I put my trust in the things that I'm doing, and I love
Well,
them.
then there you go. Then what do you need to work on? Remember, you're already trusting in something to be true. You don't have to learn to trust. You don't have to work on trust. You simply have to become more aware of what it is you choose to trust in.
Okay, then I choose to have this expand just like you're doing.
It will
And-
expand.
Oh, okay, then that's good news for me.
If you're doing what excites you,
Okay.
by definition,
Yes.
you will expand.
Okay.
And if you're doing what you love to do, that is your gift. And if that is your gift, then there must be someone in your world who is wanting to receive it. Because if it wasn't true that there were receivers, you wouldn't be interested and excited about giving that gift. So it doesn't have to be a goal. All you need to know is that the synchronicity in your life will put in touch with you those that will get something out of the gift that you have to give. It's just an automatic synchronous thing.
That's beautiful. Okay, one final thing was these
Oh,
images.
another final thing.
This is it.
Maybe
Honestly,
we need to look at that
short.
dictionary definition of final.
I know. But it just popped in my mind.
I know. I'm
as you-
playing with you.
I know. Thank you. Okay, this is the last one.
We'll
those
see.
Honestly, those images that I told you about that
Yes.
I have seen in the mirror, some of them were reptilian
Yes.
images.
Yes.
Were these beings that, I mean, they were
Yes
just, it's
and
like
no.
looking at you.
Yes and no.
Okay, tell me what they were then, please.
No.
Why not?
Because it is not our job to do so.
Oh.
All we are given to tell you is that what you are doing is creating a form of psychomantium that allows you to peer into the idea of another level of your consciousness. And sometimes there are interactions with other kinds of beings, but some of the representations you may see may only be a projection based on the idea of the symbols you need to understand in your earth plane, and not necessarily always representative of what the beings themselves actually look like in their own reality, and that's all we're going to say.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I have to accept, and I thank you for that information.
Thank you.
Bye.
Shivai.
And to you, good day, Shivai.
To start, how many beings are listening to this right now?
At this particular moment,
Yes.
337 million.
Million. Okay. Cool. All right. And about the 13 humans that live on UFO ships, are
The
they
13,
listening?
yes.
They're listening? Right.
What about them?
Are they listening to this?
Yes.
Okay. I want to say hi to them. Or to
All right,
everyone.
one moment.
Everyone.
Hi.
Shivai! That's okay. Now, we are a blend of 7 extraterrestrial DNA, a blend of...
No.
How many?
No.
Okay. I thought so.
No.
Okay. Because, all right. All right. And one more thing. Do you guys use clothes like us?
What?
Clothes?
Are you
Like-
saying clothes?
Yeah.
We have a form of garment in a sense. It is a one-piece thing that becomes anything we want it to be, including a spacesuit, if it needs to be.
All right. Sounds fun.
All right?
Yeah. Now, I have a lot of dreams about water and tsunamis.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm in the middle of both.
Are you feeling emotionally overwhelmed?
No, they're fun.
Oh, all right.
They're exciting.
All right.
I don't fear them at all.
All right.
I used to when I was a kid.
All right. And now? Are you riding the waves?
Well, at least for at least 3 seconds of it.
3 seconds. All right. You know how fond we are of the number 3.
Oh, yeah, cool.
And so?
Let's see here. Oh, the UFO I saw on this November 21st at 7 p.m. over San Francisco, was that an alien craft?
Define the appearance.
It was blinking. It was blinking, and was probably the size of a blimp, and it was moving kind of slowly.
Give us the date
And,
one more time in your time concept.
November 21st at 7 p.m. A friend of mine also saw it from a different place in the city.
It is not what you would understand as a classic UFO. It was, in a sense, an observational form of consciousness projecting from another dimension.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I felt like. How about the UFO on this December 12th?
There is an airplane taking off from your Los Angeles airport right now. Who's on it?
I don't know.
Well, neither do I. We don't keep track of every single spaceship that there is.
Okay. All right. But
Just like you do not keep track of every airplane that takes off on your planet.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Does someone know about that?
Someone knows.
Can you?
But it's not our job to know. Otherwise, we would know.
All right. And how do you guys salute or greet one another?
Shivai or ha'atu.
But like physically, do you move your body like this or like that? Because
we don't really have the same kind of gestures that you do with regard to the idea of greeting. Although sometimes beings on our planet, another planet, will adopt gestures from other civilizations that have them. So sometimes there are Shikani beings that might have fun shaking hands or saluting each other, but it's not something natural to our culture. We don't need them because we're telepathic. Therefore, all of our greetings in that sense are known before they happen.
Cool. I mean, awesome. Or full of awe. Or warm.
Does that help you?
Yeah, it does help me.
Thank you.
Can you say one more thing?
Yes.
So, if I see someone die in my reality, are they dying in my reality?
Yes.
They might be existing in their reality where I dying at the moment, or do we, like, when they die on my reality, do I cease to exist on their reality at that moment?
If they are dying in your reality, from your reality point of view, as a spirit, it is more likely than not, although there are exceptions, that they will continue to perceive you as still existing in a physical reality while they recognize they are now existing in a non-physical one. Since they did this transition from a similar reality as yours, it is likely they will generally follow the normal modality of being a spirit that is still connected to your reality and capable of perceiving those that are still physically alive. But remember, there is always a part of you up there. So the idea is that, first and foremost, if they're going to be connected to you or observe you at all, they will first observe the part of you that is already in spirit. And in that sense, they will simply, generally speaking, understand the physical you as an extension of that being. But to them, most of you is already there. And therefore, they won't necessarily always pay attention to the extension of you that's in physical reality. They will check in from time to time because they understand the idea that the physical mind may require those kinds of connections, and they will do so out of love. But remember that to them, you're not missing because you're already there in spirit as well. And they're already interacting with the level of you that they now exist on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right, that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So I'm just following my highest excitement, and there was nothing more exciting than Daryl picking my name.
Oh, all right.
So here I
then
am.
that will do, yes?
Yeah, well, there's one more.
Oh, I thought you said that was the most exciting thing.
Yeah, but then it just built, you know.
So you have other exciting things.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Okay, I really want you to ask me a question.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yes.
That was a question.
No, but come on, you know.
Now you want me to ask another question?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Do you dance?
Yeah. I mean, not right now, but...
I didn't ask if you were dancing. I said, do you dance?
Yes. A little.
A little.
Do you want me to dance more?
Do I want you to? No. Do you?
Yeah, I guess so.
You guess?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure now.
Oh, all right. Why? Just because I brought it up?
Yeah, it sounded like a good idea.
It does? Why?
It's exciting.
Why?
Self-expression.
Notice how many questions I've already asked?
Yeah, I like it. Thanks, man.
All right. Why? Why? Is is dance so exciting for you?
I mean, it's not like the most exciting thing ever, but why is it?
What is the most exciting thing ever?
This right now is
All
pretty
right,
nice.
and beyond this?
There's so many. You want me to list
Such
them all?
as?
Okay, like acting is really exciting.
Yes, are you an actor?
Yeah.
And what else?
Painting and creating
And all these things are different forms of creative expression and different forms of communication. So that's your overall excitement. These are simply different expressions of it,
Yeah,
yes? All
you
right.
got it.
So, acting, painting, writing, dancing, anything else?
I'm sure there are, but
Such as?
I don't know.
You wanted me to ask questions.
Yeah, I did.
Well,
okay,
what,
so
not now though?
No, now is great. I just love now.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess just yeah, you want me to talk about things that excite me, and I want to.
I don't want you to.
Well, you asked about.
I
things.
did, but that doesn't mean you have to answer.
Okay, well, I can just.
If it doesn't excite you to.
Okay, I mean, it excites me to like keep thinking about it, you know.
Oh, all right, then you keep thinking about it.
Okay, cool.
And remember to also act on it from time to time.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
So, dance. Okay. And when you dance more, you will find that it will actually enhance all the other expressions in a particular way that you will love.
Cool. Can you tell me what that way is?
No.
I'm just gonna discover.
Present,
Sweet.
wrapped,
Yeah.
bow, here.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, Bashar.
And to you as well.
I love you.
Our unconditional love to you. Nania, what is your time frame? Yes, it is. We will take a short break in this transmission and resume so that we may experience the holotope meditation together. How's it going? Or it will say, let's continue this transmission in the following way. Before we begin the holotope meditation, we would like to add a few little words. We talked about the idea that on this side of the looking glass, because of the new vibration, we are now in our ship over Sedona, approximately holding at 1,000 of your miles above the surface of your planet, which is an indication, as a barometer, again, of the fact that you are coming closer to the idea of open contact. We would thus like to add a few other little surprises, the first one of which was your interaction with Willa. The second idea we would like to add is that in your year now upcoming of 2013, there will be, we are not saying exactly when, but a relatively clear new visitation, new experience, new sighting from the Yael that will help accelerate or reflect the acceleration that is now taking place. So be aware of that. Also, we would like to add that because of the changes and the acceleration now being experienced and the probabilities of parallel realities that you are shifting through now in your year of 2013, we have increased the probability that in the window that we originally discussed, in which open contact would most likely take place on your planet between 2025 and 2033, there has been some acceleration in this, and We find now that the figure of your year 2013 being the year of transformation, the number 13 itself being that gateway number, that gateway vibration, that if we now simply recognize the doubling of that number, it is now a very likely possibility that the first measure, the first indications, the first beginnings of open contact program and agenda will occur in 2026, double the number 13. One moment. One moment. We will find also that in the year 2013, we will be introducing the third hybrid race to you. You already know us. You already have heard of the Yael. There are 5 hybrid races, and we will introduce the third to you in this upcoming cycle. These are all indications of the acceleration taking place and the shifting from parallel reality to parallel reality that you're going to become more aware of. And in that direction, we now invite you to relax and allow all of this to crystallize in through your holotope experience as we guide you in this particular parallel reality permission slip PRPS purpose. Breathe. And as you become relaxed and allow your lights to dim and allow your music to rise, recall, recall, recall. All the ideas now, bring them to bear, bring them to the forefront of your consciousness for the opportunities to appear before you in the looking glass that you are now on the other side of. For as you stand on this side of the looking glass, looking into the looking glass, you see reflected around you, as Willow would say, all the time up the line. And as you now realize that as you are looking at the holotope, that this is the looking glass, and see in it, eyes open or eyes closed is up to you. For insight is also seeing. The reflections, the lines of light and color and sounds shimmering in the looking glass, reflecting all things up the line in the future, as you call it, all around you. And slowly, slowly, slowly you turn. Turn your back to the glass, facing forward, facing the future, facing all the parallel probable realities up the line that await you. All the choice that awaits you. All the tracks leaving the station now. The trains that you are on, gliding along those rails to the probable series of parallel realities most harmoniously aligned with the vibration of your preference. See and feel and know that all of that is laid out before you. With these few experiences you have now had, with the beings and the parallel reality specialists up the line who now look forward to future conversations and future connections with you, and the downloading of information you have yet to imagine that will take you farther and faster into worlds of consciousness, worlds of light, worlds of sound, worlds of vibration, worlds of realization and recognition, worlds of revelation of more and more of yourself, opening up like a flower, petals upon petals upon petals, opening before you of all probabilities. And allow yourself to breathe in the sweet scent of all of those experiences as they are all contained within the oversoul of your being, that shall envelop and wrap around you and gently, gently, gently pull you towards the center of its soul, the center of its being, inviting you into the essence, into the delicious nectar of its golden vibration of life, light, and love into its heart, so that you may be intertwined, supported, and wrapped in its loving arms, the arms of 1,000 parallel lives, inviting you to joy in the awareness, in the splendor, in the exaltation of all the experiences being simultaneously had by the Oversoul, invited to join, to realize and awaken to all the cross connections that exist now, in your now, to all the other nows, up the line, down the line, across the line, in all directions and all dimensions, incorporating and crystallizing within your being, within your heart of hearts, your soul of souls. You are your own source of information. You are your own beginning and ending. You are your own infinity. You are your own eternity. And you contain all of the parallel reality choices. And from the template level, will choose to rearrange all the frames in the manner that best befits you. Choice is your power. Choice is your talent. Choice is your skill. Choice is your gift. Choice is what you are in the eyes of all that is. The choice to be you, for all that is has chosen to be you, all of you, and to experience and drink in the delicious nectar of your unique being. Drink deeply in return of its gift of life and light and love. Dance, sing, paint, write, live, love, be free. Relax into the true self of your being. At all ways, at all times, on all days, in all nights. Flow with the current of your being in alignment with all that is, in all directions at once, inward and outward, feeling the ebb and the flow and the pulse and the heartbeat of life and all that is. Drift and dream with us together, hand in hand, arm in arm, side by side, lifting, floating to higher and higher realms, to the top of the mountain at its very peak, to look out to the horizon and see that it never ends. For there shall always be more to explore and more to discover of who you truly are. On and on and on, in ecstatic explosions of delight, in ecstatic explosions of joy, in ecstatic explosions of life, light, love, and being, in ecstatic explosions of consciousness rippling outward to infinity and inward to infinity and in all directions. Gratitude, appreciation, giving, receiving, drinking deeply of all that life offers you. Letting go of that which is not you, letting in all that is. Let yourself drift in the dream and know that when you awaken, you are a new you in a new reality of probabilities, parallel realities beyond measure. Choose. 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 Allow yourselves. Allow yourselves. Allow yourselves to be you. Unclench your hands. Be free of any limitations that do not serve you, and allow the ones that do to guide you on the perfect path of least resistance, to the golden light that is the central spark of your being, of your consciousness, of your heart, of your essence. Drift and dream and breathe it in and make it your own. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Take a deep breath in and hold it and ponder all the probabilities. And exhale. And fill your world with the atmosphere that is most conducive and most conductive, most electrifying, most magnetizing, most magnifying, most amplifying. You are on the other side of the looking glass. Go forth with confidence, knowledge, certainty, in peace, in balance, in love and light, and live your dreams. For no longer are you simply dreaming about being alive. You are now the dream itself, alive and awake in itself, lucid unto itself. Dream yourself into your experience of yourself, your reflections of your being, your reflection of all that is. Explore the shards of the fractured mirror. Let Willa and Holly be your guides as you guide yourselves, as your spirit guides are with you, and as are we with you. One family. All are one, and one is all. Rejoice in your existence. Let your lights soften, your sounds soften, but always know that you have become a more receptive antenna to higher frequencies, higher ideas, inspirations, and imaginings that are in and of themselves reflective of probable realities, of shards of all that is. Because it is all that is the fractured mirror. And you are the shards, reflecting back to itself all that it is. Soften, soften, and awaken into your new being. We bid you all a new day, a new world, a new probable reality, a new parallel. And in the words of Willa, we bid you bliss. Sweet dreams. Good night. How did it go? Good morning. Once again, thank you all so very much for being here and sharing this with us. Happy holidays and have a good night. Thank you. Welcome.